Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about human eye. Okay. So I want to make it very clear that today's discussion is going to be strictly according to NCERT syllabus for the students of class 10 who are going to appear for the board exams next year. I have found it many times that most students find it very difficult to draw the diagram of the eye and remember its parts as well as remember the function of each part. So I hope that this discussion would be helpful for them and they would score better marks in the exam. You all know that human eye is one of the most valuable and sensitive sense organs, and whenever we talk about the human eye, this picture comes to our mind. So this is the picture which comes to our mind whenever we talk about human eye, and there's a colored thing inside, colored circular thing inside it, right? Colored circular thing inside it. So this is the picture which comes to our mind whenever we talk about human eye. So let me start my discussion from this picture itself. Okay, the colored part which you are seeing it is called iris. This colored part is called iris, and the center black dot which you are seeing it, which is center of the iris, is called a pupil. Okay, the iris is a colored diaphragm. The iris is the colored diaphragm, and in between the iris we have pupil. Okay, iris controls the size of pupil. The function of, what is the function of iris? Iris controls the size of pupil. Okay, so pupil is the opening through which light enters. Pupil is the opening through which light enters. So pupil controls the intensity of light. Controls the intensity of light entering. Intensity of light entering the eye. Entering the eye. So the colored part is called iris, which controls the size of the pupil, and pupil is the opening through which the light enters the eye. So pupil controls the intensity of light entering the eye. So you must have talked about the color of the eye, right? You must have talked about the color of eye. Maybe some of your friends are having brownish color, okay, or some are having black colored, some are having red, having blue or greenish color. So whenever you are talking about color of the eye, actually you are talking about the color of iris. That circular diaphragm which we have here, that is the iris. Okay, the color, whenever you talk about color of the eye, you are actually talking about the color of iris. Okay, so let me show the same picture. If I take out that eye outside, how does it look? So the eye would look perfect spherical ball, almost a perfect spherical ball, right? The eye would look like this, perfect spherical ball, and on it we have our iris. This is my iris, and at the center what do I have? The opening called pupil. What is the size of the eye? Size of the eye is approximately 2.3 centimeters. This is the average value also. Okay, so very small, it's very small, just to 2.3 centimeters. 2.3 centimeters here, right? So this colored part is my iris, and inside it I have pupil. So there is a transparent covering over the iris. There's a transparent covering over the iris. Okay, that transparent covering is called cornea. Since it's transparent, it's not visible here nor here. So what I'm doing is, to show the cornea and other components, I am dissecting the eye in this axis. I am dissecting the eye in this axis When I dissect it and show it from the side view, the eye would look something like this. So be careful. The diagram which I am going to show is a diagram which I have to draw in the exam. This is the diagram that you have to draw in the exam. Okay, so what is the structure you are going to draw? How is this spherical, right? So from side, how it would be visible? When I dissect it and when I draw it, how it would be visible? It would be visible to me as circular. Okay, this is the backward part. This is the backward part. And in the front, there is a bulge. Okay, on the front, there is a bulge. So this is the eye, basic shape of the eye. Okay, just pardon me where it is not perfectly spherical. So first you draw a spherical structure. You can take the help of your compass. Okay, your geometry box. From there you can use and make this as perfect spherical. And in the front make a bulge, and in the front make a bulge. So this is the basic structure of the eye. So this bulge which we have here, this bulge is called cornea. This bulge is called cornea. This is transparent medium. This is transparent medium. So that cornea is not visible here nor here, right? So this bulge is nothing but a cornea. And what else we have? Okay, there are some muscles inside. Let me draw this bulge a little bit better so that our discussion would be more beautiful. So let me draw a little bit more bulge. Okay, let me draw more bulge. So better bulge, better you will understand. Okay, so this is the cornea, the bulge to the spherical surface is called cornea. And here we have some muscles. Okay, here we have some muscles which are holding our eyelids. Yes, inside the eye we have a lens. Yes, inside the eye we have a lens. And how does this lens look like? It looks like a convex lens, correct? It looks like a convex lens. So these muscles which are showed with red, these are called ciliary muscles. These are called ciliary muscles. What are they doing? They are holding my eyelids, ciliary muscles. Okay, ciliary muscles. So there are pair of ciliary. So here also ciliary muscle on the top, right? So ciliary muscle is doing what? Basically holding the eyelids. Then see here, we have to draw iris, right? Iris I am drawing with red color. Okay, you are seeing it from side. How does that look? Something like this. Okay, this is iris. And the opening is called what? Pupil. So this is the opening of, right, through which the light enters. So this is iris, and the center part is pupil. This is pupil. Okay, see how easy. First you drew a spherical thing, then with some tail and front bulge. The bulge is called cornea. Okay, so what is inside the eye? Inside the eye is eyelids. Who is holding the eyelids? Ciliary muscles are holding the eyelids. Okay, this iris which we are talking from the starting, from side it is looking somewhat like this, and the opening is called pupil. Okay, and the opening is called pupil. Now there is a layer. Which I am drawing with red inside, on the inside of the eye. There's a layer. Okay, So there's a layer inside the eye. There's a layer inside the eye. Okay. This layer acts like a screen. This layer acts like a screen. Okay. See, convex lens image will be formed on it. So what type of image it is going to be? The image is going to be real and inverted. Okay. Do you see inverted images? Okay. Do you see inverted images? If the image is real and inverted, are you seeing inverted images? What happens? We'll talk later. So there is a light sensitive membrane. There is a light sensitive membrane, and this light sensitive membrane inside, we call it as retina. We call that as retina. See how simple. Okay, retina is what? Retina is a light sensitive membrane. Okay, so it's when retina consists of light sensitive cells. What are those cells? Those cells are cone cells and rod cells. Okay, cone cells are in the shape of cones, rod cells are in the shape of rods, hence their names cone cells and rod cells. Okay, cone cell is color sensitive and rod cells are light sensitive, light intensity sensitive. So the retina consists of light sensitive cells, and they get activated whenever the light falls on it. So how is the light going to come? It is going to come from outside. Now it will pass through cornea, then will pass through pupil, then will pass through something which is in between. We'll talk about it. Through that, and it will finally fall on. It will finally fall on retina. So whenever the light falls on retina, then what would happen? The retina will generate electric signals. Retina will generate electrical signals. The retina is connected with different many number of what are this? Nerves. Many number of nerves. So on illumination, the light sensitive cells get activated and they will generate electric signals. Those electric signals are sent to brain using optical nerve. So this is called optical nerve. Okay. So this, where it is going? It is going to your brain. So brain will analyze the picture. Brain will analyze the picture. So you are getting an inverted image, brain will analyze it and again invert that image. Okay, so you are seeing everything erect. So the retina, consisting of different light sensitive cells, gets activated upon illumination whenever lights fall on it, and will convert it the signals into electrical signals. Those electric signals are sent to your brain. Okay, I'll draw brain for you. Okay, this is not wig of some person. This is your brain. We'll send it to your brain, and from the brain will analyze what you are seeing, which color, okay, what is the contrast, everything will be analyzed by the brain, and brain will send signals accordingly to different parts of the body. So our eye, which is very valuable sense organ, so this is the basic structure. Here two things are missing. What are the two things? See here, there's a liquid inside the eyeball between eye lens and retina. This liquid is called vitreous humor. This liquid is called vitreous humor. And there's a liquid between cornea and the eye lens, and this liquid is called aqueous humor. Okay. So with this, if you draw this and write each and every part, you are going to get good marks. Okay. Now let me let us discuss about the function of each and every part. Let us discuss about function of each and every part. So let's start, okay? Let's start from the left and let's go to the right, to the optical nerves. So let me start from cornea. So cornea, what are we having here? It's a bulge, right? It's a bulge. What is the shape of the bulge? Just try to understand what is the shape of the bulge. The shape of the bulge is again convex. Correct or not? The shape of the bulge is, how is the shape of the bulge? Convex. So convex, what nature? Converging nature. So what would happen? The rays coming from this side, are going to converge and fall on retina. Rays coming from this side, because of cornea, are going to fall on retina, right? Converging will happen because of cornea. And what is next? Aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is like watery like structure, okay? Aqueous means water type. Aqua means water. So this liquid which we have here, it's almost like water. Its main function is to provide nutrients to the cornea, okay? Its main function is to provide nutrients to the cornea. Remember, cornea is the only part where there are no, which is not connected with blood vessels. Cornea is the only part which is not connected with the blood vessels. So the nutrients as well as the optical density is maintained by whom? Aqueous humor. Okay, nutrients to cornea as well as optical density is maintained by aqueous humor. So let us once again see, because of this convex structure, what is going to happen? See that when the light rays come, so what will happen? They will start converging. And remember, 90% of the convergence happens at cornea, not at islands. 90% of refraction happens at cornea, not at islands. Islands just does the finishing work. Just 10% is done by islands. It merely refracts the light, converges the light. So most of the converging work is done by cornea. Then after cornea, aqueous humor, let's come to iris. We have already discussed the function of iris. What is the function of iris? Iris controls the size of pupil. Okay, iris controls the size of pupil. What is the function of pupil? Pupil is the opening in the eye through which the light enters, and it controls the intensity of light entering the eye. Okay, so we can do one activity also. We can talk about one activity also, which you can do at your home. Okay, so whenever you go outside on a bright sunny day, and again when you return to a dark room, for sometimes you cannot see. Can you tell me why? The reason here it is because of iris. Okay, the reason is iris. See, when you are in a region where the light is bright, like on a bright sunny day, when you are outside, what happens? Iris contracts the size of the pupil. So iris is what the iris is going to do. Let me show here. So iris, so this is iris. So it will contract the size of pupil. The pupil will become very small, like just a small dot. So during this time, very less amount of light enters into the eye. Okay, so when you are outside during a brightly lit sunlight, so what happens? The iris contracts the size of the pupil, very less amount of light enters. And as soon as you come to a dark room or inside your house, what happens? Very less amount of light is entering your eye, so you cannot see. Then the iris will take some time to expand the size of a pupil. So when you come inside your home, then what would happen? So this is my iris. Okay, now your size of the pupil will increase. Now more light has to pass. Okay, so during night also, if it's very dark, you will be able to see little bit. Why? The iris will expand the size of pupil so that maximum amount of light enters, then you can see lightly during the complete dark time also. Okay, so that is the function of iris and pupil. Iris controls the size of the pupil. Pupil controls the intensity of light entering the eye. Then next what we have eye lens. Next what we have eye lens. I have said that eye lens just does the finishing work. Just makes the light fall on retina. But the work is not actually done by retina. By eye lens, but it is done by whom? It is done by the ciliary muscles which are holding the eye lens. Okay, so how it is done, let us understand. Okay, let us understand how it is done. So now our main concentration is on ciliary muscles. Our eye lens is like fibrous. Okay, our eye lens is fibrous jelly, is made up of fibrous jelly like material. So fibrous jelly like material, if it is made up of, then what I can do, I can expand or contract, right? Expand, contract. If I expand, what would happen? The thickness of the eye lens will decrease. If the thickness decreases, what happens? If the thickness decreases, what happens? Converging power of the eye lens will decrease, right? And when I bring it closer to each other, when I move it closer to each other, then what would happen? The curvature of the eye lens will increase, hence it increases the converging power. So let's see what our ciliary muscles do. Okay, what our ciliary muscles do. The ciliary muscles, let me draw it with the example of light rays, then you will understand. Okay, let me draw light rays for you, so that you will understand how the ciliary muscles work. Okay, for now I am rubbing virtuous humor. So see that when the object is very far, how the rays are going to come? The rays are going to be almost parallel. When the object is at infinity and they are supposed to meet at retina, right? See the extent of bending. See the extent of bending here. See the extent of bending of light. Not much. When the object is far away, the bending is not much, right? That means the focal length of the eye lens is not very large, right? Bending is less means what? Focal length is far, right? Bending is less means converging power of the lens is less, and so the focal length is large. So this happens when our ciliary muscles relax. Okay, when the ciliary muscles are relaxed, the lens become thin. And the image is formed on retina. So this is the case when the object is at far away. Now when the object is nearby, then what would happen? See here. When the object is nearby, then the rays are diverging, right? The rays from the object will come diverging, and after refraction, they have to again fall on the same spot on the retina. Correct or not? They have to fall on the same spot on the retina. So now the light has to be converged more. That means my power of the lens should be more. For my power of the lens to be more, what should happen? The curvature of the lens has to be more. So this happens when the ciliary muscles contract. When the ciliary muscles contract, the eye lens become thick. Hence it increases its curvature. Hence the power of convergence. So you can see the nearby object. So I hope you have understood. I will just explain once more. When you are seeing a distant object, the ciliary muscles are relaxed. When you are seeing a distant object, the ciliary muscles are relaxed, and the focal length, okay, the focal length increases. That means the curvature decreases. That means the curvature decreases. When you are focusing on a closer nearby object, then what would happen? The ciliary muscles contract. Because of that, the thickness of the eyelens increases. Because of the thickness increases, the focal length decreases, and the image will be again formed on the retina. So this is this ability of the eye to focus distant as well as nearby object, okay, and nearby objects, we will call it as what? Accommodation of eye. We'll call that as accommodation of eye. Accommodation of eye. That is, it is the ability of the eyelens, okay, to change the focal length of the eyelens. The ability of the ciliary muscles to change the focus of the eyelens, we'll call that as what? We'll call that as accommodation of eye. So because of accommodation of eye, you can find distant and nearby object. Okay, so that is the function of our ciliary muscles, which changes the thickness of the eyelens, hence changes the ability to focus distant and nearby object. Next, the liquid which we have is what? Vitreous humor. Okay, vitreous humor. So let me write what we have here. Vitreous humor. Yeah, vitreous humor. And vitreous means glass-like substance. So it's a glass-like substance. So what is the function? Its function is to keep the pressure inside. Its function is to keep the pressure inside, right? It maintains the shape of the eyeball. So whatever the shape you are seeing, it is maintained by whom? Vitreous humor. Okay, it's maintained by vitreous humor. And next we have retina. I have already explained. It consists of what? Light sensitive cells which gets activated upon the falling of light, that is illumination. Hence, and it also converts that information or that image which is forming on the retina into electrical signals, and those are sent to the brain with the help of optic nerves. I hope with this discussion you have understood functions, drawing, how to draw the diagram, and as well as how to label each part, and what is the function of each and every part. Okay, if you still have some doubts, just write it in the comment section. I will surely help. Thank you.